Hey YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. I'm back. I'm gonna do a get ready with me semi-tutorial. Might as well chat and catch up. Alright, so I don't know what look I'm gonna do yet, but we will just play as we go. I already filled in my brows, moisturized my face. Now we're gonna prime my face. I've been really into this YSL Touche Eclat Blur primer. So I personally have combo skin, a little bit more shiny on the T-zone, pores right along here, my cheeks, and I'm normal around my perimeter of my face. And then we're just gonna blend it in with our fingertips. So at first it feels kind of silicone-y, but it's actually not. As you blend it in, it actually kind of melts down to a moisturizer feel. And I want to tap right along where my pores are to really fill those in. And I feel like this made my makeup stay on pretty good and made my face really smooth. So very smooth canvas. So all these spots you see, they're mostly like little tiny breakouts, little sunspots. So this really helps with the texture. So when I place the makeup on, it actually looks more smooth. You guys know me, I like more of a medium sheer coverage foundation of any sort. I've been digging my Estee Lauder Double Wear Light. This is in shade 1. And just be aware, this foundation has no SPF. So if you need your sunscreen coverage, make sure you apply it beforehand or even on a powder form after to set it. I use moisturizer with sunscreen. And I like to just swipe. This is the Sephora foundation brush, number 45, mineralized foundation brush, I believe they call it. And once again, dotting right at my cheeks where my pores are. And I use a little bit of this as coverage under the eye as well. This is definitely my winter shade. Since summer is not here yet, or spring, I'm just gonna use this. And I put very little on the forehead just because my forehead doesn't really need that much coverage. So right now it's not raining, but it's supposed to start raining very soon again. It's raining until tomorrow, which is Saturday tomorrow. Today's Friday. And if you want to conceal, you can conceal. I'm going to put very little concealer underneath the eye area. And I've just been trying to use up my LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is in shade Porcelain. So you can only imagine how pale I am right now. Squeezy tip with the brush already attached. So I could do a little bit of the highlights underneath the eye. And this formula is actually fairly like thin, so it looks like a lot, but it's actually really sheer. Since I have a small forehead, I'm just gonna highlight my forehead as well, just so that it is more protrude a little bit, because right now it's very flat. I'm gonna use my beauty blender to tap away the concealer. And I like to use this, sometimes I like to use it damp, but most of the time I like to use it dry, because I feel like if I use it damp, it does pick up some of the color off. And I want this to be really packed on since I put very little anyway. So instantly you see it's brighter here and brighter there. So I like to use the tip on the inner corners underneath. As I get to the edge of my outer parts, I like to use the bigger part and dab that to blend it. So there won't be any lines or any like direct contact of the concealer. And if you want, you can go back with that brush and just dab off any lines that you don't want. Now with that, I like to set my under eyes right away. And I've just been using my favorite E.L.F. This is the tone correcting powder. And it's basically just quad of different tones to even the skin tone. This may not be universal just because it is kind of fair. If you are more like fair skin tone, this will work. If not, you might need just a translucent powder, to be honest. So I just tap it. I'm not baking, I'm just tapping, and then I'm gonna fluff off. And I like how this makes it really smooth. This brush picks up very little, so it's not like it's caked on. If you were to use a dense brush like something like this, it will cake on, like it will pack a lot if you need it. But since I don't need that much, I like to use a longer bristle where it's more fluffy at the end, where it actually has room for movement. And I'm just setting where I put the concealer, the lighter parts of my face. So right now you may be thinking like, oh, Eva's kind of light right now, but if you put on your regular foundation powder to set the rest of the face, it should be okay. I'm gonna use my foundation powder. I'm using Bare Minerals Bare Skin in light to medium. I'm using my MAC 167 SH, which is a short handle brush. One of my favorites still. Dotting and then flat. Okay, now that I have set and powdered everything, I like to take a mist. This is the BADESCU. This is the facial spray with aloe, cucumber, and green tea, just to give some dilution and moisture back to the face. While that's done, we go in with the eyeshadow, the fun part. So we're gonna go in with our Urban Decay Primer Potion, my old ass packaging, don't judge, but it still has a lot of product in here. And we're gonna apply straight to the eye. I'm using my ring finger. For all my OGs, you know why. Now that primer is on, we're gonna go ahead and just dust a little bit of the translucent powder just to set it in place. I'm gonna use my PATRICKSTARRR. This is the holiday one called Glam Af quad. I'm gonna take that matte light shade, which is Brulee, with a big fluffy flat brush, run it from lash to brow bone. Now we're gonna go in with the next shade. I'm gonna take this brown shade, which is Saddle, with a 224, of course, from MAC. Pick up a decent amount of that color. I'm gonna run it on the outer crease. I'm gonna go with a darker shade here on this palette. It's this guy. He is Embark. I'm gonna make this a little bit more smokier. Right underneath that Saddle shade with 217 brush, by the way. Place it in there. Bring it more forward to the lash line. As I do that, I kind of lift my eyebrows just to get in there, because my Asian eyes are small, so I gotta lift my brow to get into that lid area. Once you have placed the color, go back to your 224 and we're gonna blend all together with the Saddle, leaving that lid area kind of bare though still. Do you guys ever miss like just simple tutorials like this where there's no drama, there's no tea to spill, or whatever the young kids say nowadays, the young crowd? I just want to see beauty. Fun tips and tricks. I miss those days too. I feel like now you just need like supreme editing and everything is like popping up on your screen just to even be like relevant, to even be, it's not even about the content anymore at that point. It's just about editing. Extravagant, non-realistic situations that happens to your daily lives. And a lot of people don't realize that Instagram, it's just the gram. It's literally just like seeing magazines, like people dressing up to have that look, but it's like, that's not real. Not every day. That's why I haven't really been posting on my main channel here, because of that. I feel like it's just been flooded with so much stuff. I don't even know who to watch. So I'm always on my vlog channel now. So if you guys want to catch me, you'll find me on my vlog channel. I'll link in the bubble. But that's where I'm usually at. I'm watching people's vlogs. The realistic vloggers, you know, not just setting up scenes for crazy things. Okay. Once you have the satisfaction of your saturation, you can move on to your lower lash line. Basically do the same, because I don't feel like anything funky today. I'm just going to do the same shades underneath. I'm going to take a smaller brush though, kind of like a tapered angle, but not sharp ones where it pricks you, not no eyebrow ones or eyeliner ones. Just a fluffy, softer angle brush. Take that shade of Saddle again, and this one's going to go underneath the lash line. Not on the lash line, but underneath it. A little bit lower. I definitely miss doing makeup, especially on people, on other people by myself. It's like, I like to do makeup, but I don't like sales. Does that make sense? I don't want to be in retail. I just want to do makeup. And like with my schedule, it's kind of like difficult because I need to be available for the weekends just in case the restaurant needs me, in case Jules needs me. So, you know, no retail spot will hire anyone that can't be working on weekends, right? So it's kind of difficult. Same brush. Now with that color Embark again on the lash line this time around, and I'm bringing it all the way in. We signed Illy up for a lot of fun curricular activities that she can do after school, like swimming and piano and art. She was in soccer, but she didn't seem very intrigued, so we took her out of that. And like that doesn't really help with my schedule either, so it's kind of like for sure now no one's gonna want someone who isn't available until like between basically 2 and 7 p.m. and I'll only be available between 8 and 12, which is like no hours, I'm sure, because that's before any like doors are even open then for business. I'm just blending everything together with the Saddle. I guess we're going for a brown sultry corner smokes. Does anybody else's nose run when you do eyeshadow? It's because you're triggering your eyes to water. so your nose into water, and that happens to me all the time. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with a different shade for the eyelid with another flat shader brush. Taking that last shade, which is, oh my god, I believe is the color that he created, PATRICKSTARRR created. I'm taking that color and I'm packing it on right where I left it kind of bare. I feel like this is my go-to look since back in the day, before I even worked for any makeup companies. I really like this look. I feel like it fits my eye shape the most. I have like almond shaped Asian eyes, so if you struggle with the similar shaped eyes, this will be very complimenting because it makes the eyes look a little bit more, how would I say, like wider in the middle, because we have trouble with right in here where it's really flat and tapered in. By putting that lighter shade just in here and up over, but not all the way out, because our 3/4 of our eye shape here is actually really big already, and it tapers off again, and I feel like this just helps bring it out more. I think we'll put a little bit just in the inner tear duct just to brighten up the underneath. I don't really like anything on my brow bone. That's why we did that highlight earlier when we like placed saddle all over the eye. That's about it for me. Okay, so I'm gonna apply some lashes like I usually do, and I usually don't put eyeliner on, and then I'm gonna be right back. All right guys, I'm back. Lashes, mascara's on. It started to rain because it's supposed to rain today. That's why the color scheme lighting is a little bit more darker. So complexion is the last step. I'm gonna do my Morphe palette. This is the blush palette, the warm blush palette. Definitely been trying to utilizing this guy a lot more since it was a gift, and I haven't used every single color yet. I want to try to use Babe, which is this shade right here. And I'm just using my Sonia Kashuk brush. This one has a little bit of a sheen. I do notice the more satiny colors need a little bit more heavier hand than the matte, obviously. But that's okay. I think I need to apply highlights since it's nice and glowy. I'm gonna take my Kat Von D contour palette, taking this MAC 109. My contour brush that I like to use. I'm missing the middle one. The lightest one is a little bit too ashy for me, a little bit too cool toned. So I have to mix the warm one to make it a little bit more blendable. I'm still waiting for my Arctic Fox color to come in so I can get rid of this color already. So I can do my forest green color. That's the color I bought, the forest green. So pretty. I can't wait to do it. I want to do it before I go on vacation. I'm going on vacation end of March. First week of April, as our friend's birthday, as well as my husband's birthday, as well as our honeymoon. So definitely gonna be our first legit trip out of the country without Illy. I can't wait to be alone with my husband. It's gonna be so fun. I'm definitely gonna see it as our honeymoon that we always wanted, that we never had. If you guys didn't know, me and Jules never had like a wedding, like whole wedding thing, just because it's like, I personally feel like it'll be nice to have it, yes, but I don't want to waste all that money on a wedding. For me, it'll feel like a waste. To other people, obviously feels like amazing dream that they always wanted. They want to wear that beautiful wedding gown that costs thousands of dollars for one day. I mean, yeah, there's photo shoots and such, but some people just don't need it. And I'm one of those people who don't need it. And I don't feel like I really want to spend that money on the party. To me, it feels like just like a party for other people versus myself. I want to spend it on a honeymoon. That's what I want. And I want to spend it on memories. That's what I want. And I finally got Jules on board to think that way, where, you know, why would we spend so much on a wedding when we could spend it on ourselves? A lot of people might see it as, well, that is yourselves because it's your wedding. But for me, I felt like that's more for us to show off to people than for ourselves. Because why would I need that? I don't need to show off to other people. I mean, if they know us, my friends know me, so if they know me, you know, like, they know that I don't necessarily need all that glam and glitz and shimmer. And I'm nothing against weddings, it's just that it's not for me. So I was like, let's just go City Hall and sign our names, and we did. finally convinced him to just go City Hall with me, and we just signed our names versus waiting for that dream wedding, because we were saving for a wedding. And I just felt like this money could be utilized for something better over the years, and we did. We used it on paying off his car, paying off my car, and you know, I sold my car, so now that we have more wiggle room to invest on a lease car, which is like, you know, we could use that as a rotation car that we want to change up every year, or every 3 years or so, 2 years. And that's how I got the Audi, the SQ5. That's how we end up getting that car, because you know, we obviously put enough money aside to do that. That's just what brings us joy. You know, everything else is different for everyone. Maybe you having a wedding is your joy, and you know, I just feel like it's different time and age now. It's not like we're stuck in the 30s and 80s where we have to have a wedding. And luckily, you know, because I'm the youngest and I'm a girl in Chinese tradition, I'm not that important. In other words, like, I'm the hand-me-down, and the wedding has happened with my sister and her husband. She had a beautiful wedding, and then obviously the male is most important in our tradition. I don't know about your tradition, but in our tradition, that the male is most important. He had his beautiful wedding in China. That's why we went there. So good for them, you know. But like, I've always been kind of the black sheep of the family, just because I'm born in the US. I feel like I don't follow traditions anyway. Let's admit it, I have a Guatemalan for a husband. He's not Chinese, so it's really okay if I don't have a wedding. I feel like that's why my parents are a little bit more lenient about that for me. They understood me more about it, because you know, I'd rather not. Anywho, so last step is just the lips, but I don't really feel like wearing any lips today. I'm just gonna put on chapstick, just intense eyes, and that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoy this get ready with me, I guess, neutral eye look, smoky neutral eye, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I will see you guys in my next video. If you guys have any questions, or you know, any comments you want to leave me, put them in the bottom in the comment section. If you guys have any requests, maybe for a certain look, or maybe a review of something, let me know. I have a lot of foundations I have not used. I do want to do more like first impression videos, because I do like watching those first impression videos. I feel like those are very, very handy when you're in the market of finding a new complexion item, and I know a lot of us are in the market for a new complexion item. So let me know if you guys have a particular item you want me to try out, and then I'll let you guys know how that goes. All right, bye guys.